Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of The Big Bosses. Today we have Mr. Shailendra Katyal, MD Lenovo India. He heads a company in India which has product portfolios across PCs, tablets, laptops, smartphones. So let's speak to him to understand what he has up his sleeves for the India market. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. An absolute pleasure to have you on the show. To begin with, we have just completed the quarter one of FY26, and for Lenovo I'm sure you must have had some goals for this quarter. So how that has been, and moving forward, what is the outlook for the year?
So great question to start with, Shrabona. First of all, thank you for having this conversation with us and allowing us to share our point of view. Quarter one has been great. It was also a milestone for us because we were celebrating 20 years of going global at Lenovo as a company. So our operations in India started in 2005. March is when we completed our 20 years. So the timing is good. We've been around for a while and we've grown quite significantly over the last 2 decades. The future look even brighter. We do see with the entire demand for better technology, especially with AI coming in, and with our width of solutions, right? We are a wide company. So we have a phone business, we have a PC and tablet business, and then we have the server and storage business as well. Especially with the technology disruption that we are seeing with AI, the demand view has been very strong. So no complaints. Quarter one also we met all our goals and we are growing at a very good clip.
That's good to know. You just spoke about AI. So what are the innovations that you are bringing in AI, and how you are creating a niche?
Yeah, so I think if you look at AI as a term, it's not a new term, right?
Yes.
For the last, I would say, 5 or 6 decades, humans have been trying to make the machine more sentient and intelligent. I think it's coming together quite nicely in the last 2 to 3 years. The compute power is finally at a level between the CPU, GPU and NPU that the amount of power that is there, computational power, machines are able to learn a lot better and predict and forecast and generate also a lot better than if you look at AI, ML, big data. It's been around. It's not a new term, right? It's been around from the early 2000s. But I think it's finally reaching a tipping point where the compute power is really magical at a level. Where the machine can predict and be sentient and also generate a lot. So a lot of people in the technology world are calling it a seminal kind of moment. It's like the birth of the internet. But can someone really predict today how this will shape up for the next decade or so? I think it's still at the early cusp of evolution. We keep saying that when the world got connected with the World Wide Web, nobody could have imagined that Google or Amazon or a Facebook will get created, right? But we saw that happen. Killer apps did come in. A lot of our lives got touched by that fundamental technology. So it's like that. I think to your question on how do we see this shaping up, right now what has been happening over the last 2 to 3 years is more training. So there's a lot of data and machines are to be trained on large language models, which required a large GPU capability, which is where you still see a lot of demand for high-powered compute. But machines don't just have to be trained, right? Then there's inferencing and then they have to become generative. So we are seeing that part evolve very quickly. Earlier it was only at the back end, I would say, on large training models. But then it's on small language models, it's on your own device data. That part is evolving very quickly. So the entire conversation, now if you look at the last couple of months, the conversation has moved from computational power to agentic AI.
Yeah.
So data is there now. What do you do with that? What is the application? The number of applications are increasing every minute. So the world, I think, will be a lot more agentic. That's the view, that you'll have a lot of assistants, a lot of ultimately your digital twin. So I think the last 2-3 years have been more setting the foundation of computational power, whether it's on your device or whether it's at the back end. But now it's about the killer applications and the agents, which will change the way we work, the way we interact.
So you've also come up with the agentic AI on-device agentic AI. Talk a little more about it.
Yeah. So like I said, it's become a lot more complex from just a training model to. But our view of as a company has been that the world will run not on one kind of AI; it will be hybrid AI. And the big concern is at the foundation, it's data, right? And there are things about privacy, security, all those concerns are coming. So would you want to run your financial data on the cloud? May not be. You would want that data to remain private, right? So as a company, our view is there will be a private, a personal AI world, which will be on-device data and some applications which will run just there. It will not touch the cloud. It will not go outside your controlled ecosystem. When you look at large companies, they would not want their data to be in the public domain, right? If they want to run some AI applications. So there's this personal world, there's this private kind of world in enterprise, and then there's what is more publicly known right now as generative AI, ChatGPT-4, DeepSeek. It's all on public data in the cloud. So these models will coexist. They'll also talk to each other, but we believe that the power of decision making should be in the customers or the consumer's hand. Which part do you want to switch on at what time? So it will be a hybrid kind of AI world, and in each of these models you will have agents or AI applications which will help you manage your life in a far more productive and better way. How are we prepared for it? Obviously, there are these devices, right? So we have AI-powered phones, we have AI-powered PCs, we have AI tablets, and obviously on the GPU side, we have the server business. But we are starting to develop agents of our own. So we have AI now as an agent that we developed for our PC. So it's a beautiful assistant. It can do a lot of tasks for you. It can help you create. It can help you do a lot of productivity tasks as well. And it'll run. It'll not touch the cloud. It's all on device. Similarly, we have Moto AI feature, which we developed for our phone business. So yeah, we are developing agents on our own, while there are a lot of public agents which are also available.
I'm sure you must be coming up with some more innovations also, not for the remaining of FY26, but if you look at the next 2-3 years, you must be having a lot of innovations in mind. If you could just take us through that, like what more we can expect.
Yeah, so like I said, given our width of portfolio, it does become but I think that ultimately, if you look at your phone today, you'll have maybe 100 applications, right? Already. These were not there. You were largely, we used to interact on the web. From web, we moved to applications on device. I think the world will be driven towards that kind of a view, where there'll be a lot of AI assistants, AI applications that will be in your devices, on your company platforms, and at the back end. We are investing in that innovation, but will that count become 50? Will that count become 100? How many agents will we have for what task? Because some are generic, right? Like somebody can do my travel booking in a better way. That's a universal kind of application. But there'll be industry level applications. Like what does a media house need? What does a retail kind of setup need? What is required for manufacturing? So AI applications are already coming in for functions and for specific industry verticals. And there we may not develop everything on our own, right? Because primarily we were an engineering company. So we were making best-in-class hardware products, right? Whether it's a device or whether it's a server. On top of that, we've developed some solutions and application capability. But we are also working with industry partners. Because if you look at the entire potential of the internet, one company can't do everything, right? Very similarly for AI, one company can't do everything. Our job is to give the foundation for the compute power. And on top of that, how do you help build either on your own or you work very well with public applications which are there. So last year we created a fund where we are working on almost 200 quote-unquote ISVs, startups who are actively working on AI application development. So it's kind of a seed that we've created for them to create a proof of concept and take it to market. Not all of them may scale, but it's like our contribution towards helping the AI ecosystem develop in a fundamental way. So can somebody predict the future even for the next 3-4 years on AI? I think we are still at base camp. I would say the summit is quite far away.
Okay, so you have started manufacturing AI servers from a Puducherry plant. I think September 2024 was the time when you announced that, right? Yeah. So it's been quite a while now, almost 8 to 10 months. Yeah. So how is it going, and what is the vision for this particular business? How are you planning to scale this up?
Yeah. So let me take it in the context of Make in India, and let me put Make in India also in the context of us as a global company, right? Yeah. So with our width of solution, it's always very complex to figure out what your next 5-year supply chain strategy should be, right? But historically, we've also been very resilient and I would say diversified in our supply chain approach. We've had almost 30 factories live.
Yeah,
globally. So which is why we've gone through periods of very heavy disruption like COVID, etc. We've still remained number one in our core category. All this is because we've been able to flex. Even when the supply chain is broken, We can ramp up some other factory if one factory is not able to supply for whatever.
Maintain that number one position was well.
Yes, in the core category.
Yes,
obviously, there's headroom in servers, etc. But in PCs, we remain a strong number one. So wherever disruptions have happened, either because of some black swan event like COVID, etc., we've been able to flex quite well. There's an industry benchmark for who's got the best supply chain in the world. Gartner does that ranking. And across industries, it's not just us competing with technology companies. Across all kinds of consumer goods, technology firms, etc., we remain in the top 10 for a significant period. Last year, we closed at number 8, which is an acknowledgement of the investment that we've made in diversifying our supply chain. Now, we do get asked that question, that what is India's role in that? And yeah, we are happy to see the progress that the government has also made in helping localize the electronics supply chain. And we've made very rapid strides in that. Like Motorola, whatever phone we consume in India, 100% is made in India. We also use our capability here to export to some markets like North America. On PCs, we've been making in India for the last 2 decades in our plant in Pondicherry. So it's not a new topic for us. But yeah, we've doubled our capacity because we were encouraged by the PLI 1.0, 2.0 incentives from the government. And we continue to ramp.
For PCs, right?
For PCs.
PCs you still don't export, right? You have not reached.
Earlier we had just Pondicherry as a factory. Now we've empaneled Dixon also as a partner.
New partnerships that you're looking at?
So it's evolving as we speak, right? Like for Motorola also we had one partner, which was Dixon, but it was not enough. That capacity was not enough to meet local demand plus exports. So we recently onboarded Neolink as a partner. For tablets, we've onboarded a partner. We've started integrating some of the component level ecosystem also. So we started making monitors now. So your question was largely on the server front. If you see the direction of us as a company, we've been making in India for the last 2 decades. It's not a new topic for us. And some parts of business are 100% localized, and we are doing exports. Tablets, we started exporting last quarter. So we are very encouraged with the growth of the local electronics ecosystem. PLI 3.0, which is a component level recent announcement, is also a welcome move.
The electronic component.
So some of our suppliers will also hopefully get encouraged by that and move some part of their capability here. And on servers, you spoke about AI servers. We've still not rolled that out because we are awaiting approvals for Pondicherry site from the US government. We've applied, but finally under the diffusion law, they have to approve a new capacity. But we've started making the traditional servers already from our Pondicherry facility. It's a beautiful facility, and we had space there. We were making PCs. Now we started making servers.
So you added one extra assembly line. The third assembly line was added, right? Yeah.
So third assembly line was for PCs itself, because PC also we had to expand, and then we have added one more line to make servers. Do we have capacity to make GPU servers? Yes, but that is awaiting regulatory approval for us to start that manufacturing.
So I had a question on Make in India, but I think this already answered. We spoke about PCs, smartphones, everything. You spoke about tablets. You started exporting it. So do you see a growing trend towards tablets as well?
Yeah, so we were having a conversation about tablet as a category, and it's been so interesting that when tablets got launched as a form factor, right, somewhere it was seen as one more consumer device, but that part was not growing, but it was getting sandwiched between phones becoming bigger, and you already had a laptop which was trying to become smaller, right? So what does a tablet really do as a third device in the house was not very clear. And in the last, I would say 7-8 years, it had become more of a commercial product, which is for sales, for automation, retail, etc. People were using, or for your KYC kind of needs in banking, financial services. Interestingly, in the last 1-2 years, we've seen the consumer use case come back in a very strong way. And that's driven more by the content consumption of OTT. So people are wanting, it's not good enough on a phone, and you don't want to bring out a laptop to watch content. So that part has grown quite a bit, and yeah, these are bigger products, they're better products, because people want the best sound, people want the best display, people want some headset also with that. So it's become a very nice consumer use case again, while commercial demand remains strong for education, retail, banking, etc. So both are growing now. Earlier it was only commercial, but now the consumer part is actually a pleasant surprise that it's found a role in the house that you need a third device to come in.
And which are the markets that you're exporting your tablets to?
I think we started with North America, like we've done for phones, and we are continuing to evaluate if there is any other.
So this brings me to my question on tariffs.
Yes.
This is ongoing tariff rules that's on. So are you have a different strategy in place to deal with this? Are you reevaluating markets? How do you plan to navigate this? What's the plan of action?
Yeah, so I'll bring us back to the earlier point I made, right? It's not a new topic for us handling any kind of disruption or any new environmental change. We've been building this capacity over the last 2 decades in terms of having one of the most diversified and one of the most resilient supply chains. And we've always been focused on what is the right thing for the local market, right? So if some customer wants it in the next few days, do you have local capacity to ship it to that customer? Or if some customer is okay waiting, but they want the cheapest source of supply, I have 30 factories to choose from at any given point of time. Now, tariff we see as one more environmental change, which may reshape some part of a supply chain. Some factories may become bigger, some factories may become smaller. But we also see the demand view in a very solid way, right? So overall demand is growing, which means all factories will have to grow. But some rebalancing may happen between which factory do invest in more and which factory may go through some amount of capacity capping. The beauty of Lenovo as a company is our diversified supply chain. So we keep waiting for more certainty, because certainty is always good for business. If the tariff changes too frequently, that does come in the way of. But that's true not just for us, that's for the entire industry. Everyone's waiting and watching and hoping that it becomes a lot more stable and predictable as an environment. But we are geared up to meet every customer demand in every way. We operate in 180 markets. And we've not lost a number one position, the point I was making, despite all these disruptions which keep happening in the environment.
From an India perspective, are you looking at evaluating other markets for exports?
See, we are constantly evaluating that, right? Like if I talk to my global supply chain head at a worldwide level, what is his job? His job is to ensure that the right product is given at the right time, at the right price to the customer. So, depending on the customer demand, we choose the factory that we have to supply from. And if there's a regulatory need to supply from some source, we'll comply with the local laws of the land. Is India on the map? India is absolutely on the map. Like, we were not exporting phones from India. With PLI 1.0, it became commercially viable to ship from India to North America, which we've leveraged. Similarly, tablets, it's become viable. So it's a combination of, do I have surplus capacity in India first? For PC, I don't have surplus capacity, so we can't talk about exports till the time I fulfill my own demand. And then it's on the economics, right? If the customer wants it from a certain source at a certain price. So we are very agnostic that way. We are not creating any bias. Our job is engineering, making the best products. Our job is to then make it at the best commercial proposition for the end customer.
The tariff thing. Now moving to AI PCs, it was launched last year, or 1.5 years now. Are you seeing that picking up? I am sure you must be facing some challenges in this regard, as we discussed earlier. So, how is it going for AI PCs?
We are very encouraged, and like I said, AI is not just about the compute power, right? Which is what we prepared last year as well, right? We had a portfolio of products which were with the NPU as well. And the compute power also went from 10 tops to 40 tops, which is officially required for Copilot Plus to run. So we've been building the portfolio, but finally it's about how many applications are there for the customer to feel that I've invested in a better product. What am I going to use it for? So right now if I say, if you take the 10 tops definition, maybe the market is already 20% towards AI PC. If I take the 40 tops, which is a slightly more stringent definition from Microsoft, that also is getting to 3-4%. So it's not small within just a year. And we were discussing earlier, as the portfolio is expanding, price points are also coming down. Earlier, if you had to buy AI PC, that was available at a very higher price. But now it's coming into almost mainstream kind of $800, $750 kind of price point. But it's not just about the price. It's about, if I buy a product, what will I do with that product? Where the AI applications, we are very encouraged with. Many more models are now coming through, many more tools are coming through, specific use cases are coming through. So we do see that over the next 3-4 years, I would be surprised if every PC is not a AI PC in some form or the other. Now going from 3-4% to 100%, we have to see whether it happens in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But the direction is set, I think. the question that all of us were asking, is it a hype like quote unquote Bitcoin or crypto or something like that? It's not. It's a fundamental technology shift. It's like the internet. It will keep penetrating all our lives in the next 3 to 5 years.
Thank you. And we also see an uptick in gaming devices.
Yes.
Be it PCs, especially smartphones. So many companies are now in gaming specific smartphones. Yes. How do you see the space for Lenovo, and what kind of innovations you can expect?
Yeah, so we are quite invested in this space. I'll first talk about the industry per se. If I can talk about my growing up years, which was a long time ago. There was this thing about more console-based gaming, right? And PC gaming was not that relevant, because you would want a PS4 or you would want a Xbox kind of experience to really game. But what we've seen is now there are 2-3 parts of gaming. There is very light gaming, which is on mobile, right? So that part is a different segment. But if you want to really play intensive games, especially with the near to life experience that customers are seeking, you need a lot of compute power, which is where the console gaming is not able to keep up. And the last 5-6 years, we do see that now PC gaming is the default for quote unquote serious gamers. Mobile gaming is a light gaming kind of experience. So we are geared up for both. We launched a brand called Legion, which was at the premium end of gaming. And we launched a budget gaming brand called Lock about a year and a half ago. And we've seen very good adoption because gamers require a lot of compute. They also require cooling, right? So our combination of the power and the cooling and the engineering that we've done, Legion is now the most preferred brand by gamers. If you take any brand track in India, Lock has also got very good acceptance. So we are almost 1/4 of the market in India already. 25% of gaming share is led by Lenovo, and the market is growing. We do see tournaments now happening where it's become like IPL, right? There's a gaming Premier League. People are coming with coaches, managers. It's become a serious sport.
There's so many conferences on gaming.
Yeah, so we are all hoping it will become an Olympic sport as well, because it's not just people see that as a productive activity. A lot of our strategy sessions are becoming gamified. A lot of that thought is there. Right? A game is not you're not spoiling the kid. You're also training the kid for something productive. On your question on, we've tried Legion extension into phones and into tablets, but light gaming versus serious gaming. If you're a serious gamer, then you don't want just a handheld product. Then you want the full paraphernalia. And if you're a light gamer, maybe the phone itself is enough to do that. You don't need to. So slower adoption, I would say, on the Legion phone, Legion tablet. We launched a Legion Go product, which is more like a console as well, but that's much smaller part of the portfolio. So you either have light gamers where phone, tablet is enough, or you have a very serious gamer where you need the full hall.
Understood. So when we were talking about this, you spoke about premium products, right? Yes. I also want I'm curious to understand. Do you also see an uptick in premium products across your product bases, across your product portfolios?
Yeah. So premium is more a definition of price point. I will maybe come to why are people buying more expensive products, right? Like if you look at pre-COVID, our lives were not that connected. Right, you would engage with your PC for maybe at home, maybe for 1 hour, 2 hours, and if you were at the workplace, obviously you were using office applications. But post-COVID, our lives have become so hybrid, right? That the time spent on the device is not a lot more than it used to be. Now, if you're on the device a lot more, you need a better screen, right? Because then there's a strain on the eye, or even if you're watching content, you want the best possible screen. You want the battery to last a lot longer. You want the best input experience. You want a headset. So premiumization is an output of people spending a lot more time on our products. And on top of that, you have the specific areas like I want a more high-powered thing for gaming. If I'm a creator, I need a more high-powered machine for the creator segment. I want touch as an experience to come in. Now, all these are cost adders, right? You want more power, you want a better screen, you want a battery, and hence price points are going up. But it's not premiumization for the heck of it. It's not just snob value that I've bought something expensive, which happens in some categories like cars, etc. You want this for badge value. This is all driven by an active need of the customer that the product has to be useful for me and my experience has to be solid. The audio quality has to be good, the display quality has to be good, battery has to last, and I need a lot more compute power. So yeah, the only segment actually which is declining is the entry segment in computers. All the other segments are growing, and it's driven by a genuine need of the customer.
Amongst PCs, you have always been in the top 3 brands in India and globally. Obviously, that's number one. But when it comes to India, smartphones are yet, obviously you have made it 100% local. You're exporting as well, but it's yet to come into the top 5 brands.
Yes.
How you plan to scale that up?
Yeah, so if you look at our phone strategy, right, and I'm going back in time, maybe 2013, 14, this business is now maybe 10, 12 years old for us. So we had become number one in PC. We said we have to become number one in other endpoint products. So we launched phones, we launched tablets. And we had launched with Lenovo branded phones in India as well. And over time, then 2015, 16, we acquired Motorola also from Google. So we've seen this period of evolution, right? That we got in early, products were reasonably accepted, and then we also got the franchise from Motorola. At one stage, we had become number 2 in the country between Motorola and Lenovo phones, both put together. We were number 2, but at some stage, we felt that we did not have the product strategy right.
Okay.
And we had expanded maybe too fast. So we started losing money because a lot of price-led competition, more players started jumping in. And we felt we had to reset our business model there, focus a lot more on product innovation rather than spreading ourselves too thin on managing 2 brands.
Okay.
We shut down the Lenovo portfolio because they were at times cannibalizing each other. Instead, we'll focus only on Motorola, which had better IP, better franchise. And we'll put all the money behind getting our products in place. So our business actually from top 2, we dropped out of top 10. But it's a conscious choice, right? So strategically, we said till the time our product strategy is not in place, we'll not just chase blind volumes. If you look at our traction over the last 3 years, the business is 3x. Because Motorola has finally got the product strategy right over the last 3 years. We've got true differentiators. We taught now the world how color has to come back into phones with Pantone Color of the Year. That partnership was unique to Lenovo 3 years back. Earlier, people were selling only black phones, including us, right? Either black or someone will have a white phone. So we've reintroduced.
Very less color choices.
Motorola has actually led the way in terms of bringing color back. So I think we are very encouraged with all the innovation that we've done on Moto. We were the first with 5G. We were the first now to scale the flip and the foldable form factor. Moto Razr is back. We've seen very good acceptance. It was an iconic product, but obviously it was lying low. But now with the foldable screen, that part has done very well. So I think Motorola is now back in the top 7. We were not in the top 10 not too long ago. And yeah, to your question, top 5 should not be too far away, because the business in Q1 again has gone through some hyper growth as we speak. But it's all very sharp, intentional, strategic choices, focus on the right price segments, put a lot of money in product innovation. And yeah, customers are smart enough. If the product is good in technology, people want the latest and the best product in their.
All of these, all the tech products and everything, I'm sure metro cities are the first one to pick up on that. I also want to know about tier 2, tier 3 and non-metro cities. Yeah. Do you see the trends of tech products, especially your devices, picking up in these smaller pockets, and what's the reason for that?
So absolutely, I think whatever the government has done over the last 15 odd years in terms of digitization of the economy, right? So internet penetration is now near 100%. Yeah, it's in the 90s. You can say that everyone can have a internet access through a phone. Data costs are the cheapest in the world. So it's very high quality data access, but at a very affordable price. So the fabric is there. And then in terms of public tools, UPI, etc., which has also helped adoption of technology. And for that, obviously, then you need a product or a device to interface with some of these. The penetration of devices, it has to ride on some foundation. So the digital foundation of the country is very strong in terms of the internet access and the cost of data access. I think on phones, it's more about now everyone has a phone. Will they want a better product? So premiumization is the trend that we are seeing a lot more, and premiumization is across. It's not just in metros because what we figured out is also with some of these buy now pay later kind of credit access which has come in. People are okay up trading and everyone wants a better product. They don't want to necessarily compromise. PC penetration was maybe about 10% pre-COVID. With COVID, everyone realized that even for running classroom, etc., now it's 15-16%. The market was 4 million, it's now 7.5 million. So penetration has actually grown, and a lot is also, some is maybe two laptops in the house in metros, but also adoption in the top 100 cities. But we do feel PC penetration can be a lot more. And with the new education policy and with the Atal Tinkering Labs, all the budgetary interventions which are happening, India is still under-penetrated in PCs. In phones, we are now the top 2-3 in the world, but in PCs, we are still not there. So it's grown, but I think education has to be the bedrock for more PC adoption in the country. So we should love to see the country get to 30-40%, which is where some of the emerging markets also are. So if you look at Indonesia, Brazil, Malaysia, China, these are not mature economies yet, but there also the PC penetration is much ahead of India. So yeah, it's grown, but we do feel that it's still under-penetrated. Maybe it should become from 7 million, it should become 15 million as a addressable market for us. See, we are playing our part. If you look at our global mission statement, it's smarter technology for all. So obviously smarter technology is what everyone would want to innovate on. We as a company focus a lot on democratization of access to technology. So for all is very important for us. So we'll have products across price points. We'll try and make it easy for customers to, because our belief is technology is life-changing. That's our noble purpose. Can we put technology into every human's hand? Okay. So penetration is a favorite topic for us, but yeah, it requires, like in phones, the trigger was internet connection, very affordable products. In PC, it has to be led by the education use case, and yeah, the government has a very big role to play in digitization of the ecosystem.
So any company is as good as its talent.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, with all the technological innovation that's happening for Lenovo, do you have some more hiring plans here? How do you see the talent space in India?
It's a great question, and we do see that Indian talent is showing up a lot more in many more places. And also moving up the value stack. Like if you see a lot of the GCC expansion earlier used to be in BPO, KPO kind of more processing oriented jobs. But if I look at the last 2 to 3 years, including us as a company, a lot more seats have got created for engineering, for R&D, for solution delivery. So earlier in India at a site level, if we were 500 employees, 90-95% would have been people who are focusing on revenue generation, the sales and marketing and the operation stuff. But now with Make in India, a lot of jobs have got created there. We've set up a server design lab. We have a Moto R&D lab. So 500-600 of the engineering seats have got created. We've created a solution delivery capability, which is a NOC/SOC, Network Operating Center and Security Operating Center, where we are servicing global customers on areas like cyber resiliency. That's got set up in our Bangalore office, 150 seats of that. So the kind of jobs which are there, these are highly technical jobs. So yeah, we've expanded from 500 people to 2,000 people directly on roles. Extended teams, if you see, because there are people who work with us on a contract capacity also. We give employment to almost 14,000 people in the country. So obviously revenue has grown, but a lot of these jobs are also not just for India. It is India for the world. So we are quite invested in that space. We are trying to now skill people. Earlier our skilling was more around early education. That can we digitize a classroom and give tablets as part of our philanthropy. Now our entire investment is for AI skilling. So we are setting up labs in higher universities, in engineering institutes to create the talent that India needs for. So even our philanthropy efforts through our CSR programs is now towards AI skilling out of India.
And there's as much as interesting AI can get, but there's also fear associated with AI.
Yes.
And we have a lot of announcements happening here and there with big companies. So what do you think about this? So are AI replacing jobs, or there will be more jobs created because of AI?
See, both will happen, right? And we keep getting into these debates that when the first flight was Yes, when those things were created, people felt that what's going to happen to one industry. Yes, so some part gets impacted. Like if somebody's made a car, the person who was doing a horse carriage thing will feel that, okay, my job is gone. But with more connectivity, then the demand also increases, right? So I think AI will be at a very big picture level, right? If you look at the world GDP, it's been kind of flat, right? Some country will go, some country will get into recession, but it's been kind of flat. there's not been a big productivity trigger for the global economy to grow in a significant way. Maybe the industrial revolution and to some extent maybe the internet revolution was adding some bit of productivity. But with AI, we do expect the productivity, human productivity, to grow at a global level. So it will be a additive force.
Okay.
But new kind of jobs will get created.
Yes.
So I think the favorite thing that people are saying is you will not lose your job to AI. You will lose your job to a person who knows AI.
Yeah. Yes.
So you have
the upskilling comes.
Yeah, so you have to learn, you have to adopt these tools. Like if you had not created your email ID when Hotmail came in, you would lag other people. If you have not adopted WhatsApp when it became a medium of communication, you would lag behind. So similarly, you have to start adopting the AI tools. You have to make it part of your life so that you're prepared for the new kind of jobs which will come in.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Anything else to be added?
No, thanks, Shrabona. Really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for the opportunity. Thank you.